It's better when we're one.
And I'm just going to say hi for a start. I am so grateful to see you all this morning. Welcome to the neighborhood. And we are going to welcome you with a call and response. Welcome to unity.
Welcome to unity.
Where love is felt.
Where love is felt.
Truth is taught.
Truth is taught.
Lives are transformed.
Lives are transformed.
And all is well.
And all is well.
As we express the Christ within.
As we express the Christ within. This one's a sing-along if y'all want to sing with us. Oh, 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 oh.
That's it. The words are oh.
Oh, 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 oh. Nice. I'm walking along with your head in the clouds, headphones turned up way too loud. It's the kind of day you just roll along, looking for a vibe in your favorite song, with the radio on and the radio up. You know we're singing loud cause we never give up. I've been feeling something calling me from way inside, so I pause, turn my gaze to the sky.
Walking along with your head to the ground, somewhere to be, no time to look around. People yelling, trucks roaring, overwhelmed with sound. Plugging in my headphones just to dim it down, with the radio on and the radio up. You know we're singing loud cause we never give up. I've been living in the fast lane for way too long. Time to slow it down, might be time to move on.
Cause I know there's so much more to life than this. Remembering to give thanks each day we're blessed. And how can you make extraordinary things from an ordinary day? Staring at the sun, time has just begun. Arms as open as the sky. Maybe now it's time. That's right, that's y'all's part. Oh, 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 oh.
Even if you're at home.
Oh, 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 oh. Walking along with your head in the clouds. Cause I know there's so much more to life than this. Remembering to give thanks each day we're blessed. And how can you make extraordinary things from an ordinary day? Staring at the sun, time has just begun. Arms as open as the sky. Maybe now it's time to fly. Staring at the sun, time has just begun. Arms as open as the sky. Maybe now it's time to fly from this ordinary day. Oh, 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 oh.
I think you noticed that we have our guest musicians today. And so I'm going to just go out of order on purpose and quickly introduce them. We are delighted to welcome Sam and Lucy as our accomplished New Thought musicians for today's service and next week's. This pop folk duo understands music's power to transcend culture, race, age, status, to unite all, harmony with nature and with each other. So, do you want to add more at this time, or do you want to wait? Wait. Okay, well, they're going to wait because when we do the next piece, they'll follow up. And I do want to mention that they do have out in the gathering room an email list as well as CDs available. So, now I'll go back to where I'm supposed to start. Good morning. Unity of Gainesville. And I wish to welcome all of you who are virtually online with us on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. Our service is enriched by your presence. And please know that today's music and message are here to bless and support you on your spiritual path, whether you are here in person or online. Each service is made possible by the selfless service. Our prayer partner is Ann Young, and she will be available after service in the small room here to my left. Our board member on duty is Barbara Gordon, and our AV team appears to be, let me just see, we've got a Gabe Coleman, we've got Alejandro, is he? Yeah, we got Alejandro, Dressal, and we have, I believe, Bill Lang. So, and last but not least, we have RHT. I want to say a bit about RHT, as I expect we'll be hearing more from him. In his biography on our weekly e-blast, he writes that he is a teacher and a maker. He is an assistant professor at Florida State University and a filmmaker, theater maker, actor, and director. His students call him Teach. He feels that ideal to teach, grounded in every aspect of his life. To learn is to teach. I have to just giggle here because I've been a teacher for well over 50 years and I'm still teaching now. This means to learn perpetually, surrendering to the divine mind and divine flow. As I am sure you've already seen, RHT is devoted to both. His lesson today is enticingly entitled, First Things First. And now we will have Carla Palma do our opening prayer.
Thank you, Rapali. I just invite you to relax in your chairs and prepare yourself for this awesome service that is taking place today. Can you hear okay? All right. I'm getting cues from the back of the room. Let's just now breathe together in harmony and in love, and just know that today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us all be joyful and love in it, loving this day, knowing that we are here by divine appointment. Of all the places that we could have been before or during, we chose this. So we are grateful to be together, grateful for the lessons that we will learn here today, grateful for the musicians that are here, and just grateful for each other with the love that we share. And so it is. Amen.
I would like to welcome any newcomers. Do we have any newcomers today? Just raise your hand because someone will bring you a packet. Okay, great. We move on. The very first announcement is a town hall. That town hall is happening next Sunday, April 23rd. And I would like to call our attention to this opportunity for everyone's voice to be heard as it relates to our ongoing intention to refresh and renew. We are moving forward with a newly formed 2023 board and the prayerful intention to have a new minister of record as soon as possible. So we are also inviting everyone, members or non-members, to stay after, again, tomorrow, next Sunday service, April 23rd, to be part of our town hall. Please know that Gabe Coleman will be facilitating this meeting, so come and exchange information. This is like a State of Union speech. In this case, it's the State of Unity. And just know that this is informal and it's open-ended discussion, and it is for you to share what's on your heart and mind. On April 18th, which is a Tuesday of this coming week, there is the last session of Saging While Aging with Dr. Christine Gilman. And then the community drum circle with Althea is going to be that Thursday on April 20th with World Fusion Classroom. So please check the website. It is unitygainesville.org, no of, or subscribe to the Unity Messenger newsletter that comes out each week, ably edited by Sue Henry Young. Okay, so now I would like to have Chris do the daily word.
Good morning. The word for today is world peace. And the affirmation is, I live my vision for a peaceful world. How's that? Loud enough? Okay. The Bible reads in Isaiah 32:17, the effect of righteousness will be peace, and the result of righteousness, quietness and trust forever. To bring about peace in the world, I begin by paying attention to my first reaction when I feel I have been treated unjustly. I do not deny my feelings, but neither do I allow anger, envy, or other negative feelings to take control of my response. I feel my feelings, but I remain committed to living the truth that I know. Regardless of behavior, every person is a divine being, a living expression of God. I call upon my divine faculties of love, faith, and strength to guide my next steps. No matter how another responds, I remain centered in God. My efforts make a difference. Peace between individuals creates peace within families, in communities, and among the nations of the world. Again, I repeat, I live my vision for a peaceful world. Please join me in repeating that. I live my vision for a peaceful world.
So, hi guys, we're Sam and Lucy. We're so honored to be here. What a special space, we can feel it. One of our favorite things about music is that it actually physically moves your body. If you sing, if you hum, there is physical movement happening. And that energy is like, when we set our intention, it can be just the movement of pure love, pure God, pure life. So play with us. We love to do participation activities with feeling that love moving through your body. The lyrics are ooh. Ooh. And that's it. Just try it. Ooh. Feel your divinity moving as love. Yeah, if you're inspired, take another tone. Ooh. Find your place and let it feel good. Keep going. First right at the start.
lost our way. We never lost our way. You are me. We never lost our way. You are me. We never lost our way. You are me. We never lost our way. I am home.
You can hear me. Can you hear me now? Perfect. All right. All right. So we're going to do our meditation. That was so beautiful. And I just want to continue what we just heard into what we know is our vessel. So go ahead and close your eyes and set your intention on why you're here and what the purpose is for this vessel. Allow the energy to be within your heart space and breathe it in. As you release, let go of anything that's holding you back. Begin to untangle. Untangle anything, any tension. Take a deep breath again. Allow that heart space to enter what your intention is. Continue to pull that intention throughout your vessel. Pull it in your breath and release. This energy is spreading. Allow it go down into your belly. Allow your belly to be full with that intention. Breathe it in and release. Continue to untangle and let go. Feel what that intention is. If it is love, if it is peace, if it is kindness, breathe it in and release. This energy is within you. You are greatness. You are God's greatness. You are God. Breathe it in again. And release. This is you. Ashe.
Thank you, Sally. So I don't want to compete with this TV, so let's turn this off, all right? I don't know, 4K aerial footage looks amazing, but yes. What I do want to do is I want to acknowledge Sam and Lucy. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all being here. And a little fun fact, they just moved to Alachua. So yes, they are nearby, all right? Welcome to Gainesville area. I want to thank Reverend Betty for the opportunity to give today's talk. We send her love in her new capacity at Unity of Sarasota. We know she is shining, and we are shining too. We are in the season of Easter. the season of rebirth, reawakening. I like to say the season of reminding. Last week, Reverend Marcia reminded us of the metaphysical meaning of Easter Sunday. The week prior, Carla reminded us of the meaning of Palm Sunday. Today, we are being reminded that God is. Reminded that God is, so we are. God is all good, absolute good, everywhere present. I like to say, and I know we've heard it before, not in the present, but is the present. Right? Like, not in the present, but is the present. And because God is the presence of all life, we are the very essence of that presence, what we call God. So that's the essence of today's talk. The title is First Things First. All right, we can go. That's it, first things first. Okay, so y'all heard in the bio, and I'm sure you've heard earlier, I am a teacher. And so I was talking to Sally, and the question was, when this body is done, how do I want to be remembered? And so, yeah, there's an artist thing, but the thing I wanted to be remembered by was he was a teacher. And so teaching actually influences every part of my life. And so when we commit to being a teacher, we're actually committing to learning, right? We are devoting our life to being a learner. And so when you learn, it's not always like sunshine and giggles and lilies. It's actually, there's a firing process that happens, right? There's a molding and shaping process that happens when you devote your life to learning. And so today, I crafted our talk very much like a lesson. So y'all are in a module, okay? The module is Easter, all right? So I'm gonna ask y'all to participate with me. So what do we know about Easter? So when you think about Easter, what comes to mind? What do we have? Resurrection. Chocolate bunnies. If our 4-year-old was here, he would say dying eggs, chasing hidden eggs, right?
Eggs.
Yes, that's right. There are like candies that only come out during Easter time, right? So we have the spectrum is wide. Now, in the liturgical calendar, Easter actually lasts 50 days, right? It ends on Pentecost Sunday. So what is Pentecost? What is the Pentecost? I know, right? We see Pentecost at church. Like, what is that? So the Pentecost is actually when many Christians commemorate the descent of the Holy Spirit on the apostles. So that was Pentecost. So actually, Easter is not just the Sunday, right? It's actually when Lazarus was resurrected, according to the text, is the birth and resurrection all the way through to what is called Pentecost Sunday. Today is actually Orthodox Easter. So we're still in Easter mode. Now, what does Orthodox mean? We hear it all the time, but what does Orthodox mean? What does that mean? What does Orthodox mean? Traditional, that's exactly right. Tradition, old school, there's a history, right? So the definition of Orthodox is actually what is accepted as right or true. It is established and approved tradition. So that's Orthodox, right? So today we are in the Orthodox Easter. In Orthodox Christian churches, primarily in Greece, Cyprus, Russia, Romania, Bulgaria. Sally was telling me in Ethiopia, they also practice Orthodox Easter. In all these different spaces, the reason why there is a lapse in time is because in Orthodox churches, they use the Julian calendar. Now, what is a Julian calendar? Yeah, I told you this is a lesson. What's a Julian calendar? Yep, Julius Caesar, that's exactly right. So Julius Caesar created in 45 BC a calendar, and that was based on the solar cycle, so Earth's revolutions around the sun. But in 1582, Pope Gregory XIII instituted the Gregorian calendar, which was acknowledging that there is a 11-minute miscalculation with the rotations, and so you got to account for the leap year. So that happened in 1582. So the church said, okay, enough. We will do Easter acknowledging the miscalculation. So we're going to set Easter on the first Sunday after the full moon. Okay? Now, I don't know how many of us knew that, but I didn't know that Easter was set based on the revolutions of the sun. Right? Now, okay, I got more coming. But under the Gregorian calendar, the first moon of this year was actually Thursday, April 6th, Thursday morning. So when was Easter? Sunday, April 9th. So it's today. It's not anything that just kind of dissipated. We're still very much acknowledging that. So by now, you may be seeing something strange, right? Something we know, but don't often acknowledge. That's we are connected. We are connected. Did you know that Easter was set according to the revolutions of the sun or the cycles of the moon? History isn't a straight line, right? History is actually a circle. When we learn a thing, time goes by, we learn a new thing about that thing, and then we go back and revisit that thing, and we revise that thing, and the cycle continues. History is just a cycle. Now, many historians cite Venerable Bede. All right, let's just pause here. Can you imagine having a title like that? So you're not just Carla, you are Venerable Carla, okay? All right, I'm not just RHT, I'm Venerable, right? So a title, okay? So Venerable Bede in the 8th century, so he was a monk and an Anglo-Saxon scholar. And so he is cited as having discovered the origin of Easter's names, the etymology. So he wrote a work called The Reckoning of Time, and he determined that Easter comes from Yoster, which is the Anglo-Saxon goddess for fertility and spring, right? Okay, so we got some heads nodding. Now, in drawings, Yoster is actually surrounded by hares, right? And is believed to be worshipped during pagan festivals. All right, y'all, let's pause. Another question. When you hear the word pagan, what do you remember? Not what you know now in our adult minds, but what do you remember when you heard the word pagan back in the day? What did you hear? Devil worship? What else? Evil? What else?
Hungry babies in Africa.
Yes, that's right. What else? I mean, scary stuff, right? Like, I remember hearing the word pagan, and you had, the fear wasn't used, but it was like, you better watch out, right? Do not get near pagans. Now, did you know that pagan simply means being and having a belief outside major recognized religions? That's it. That's it.
So we're pagan.
You better believe it, Rupali. Okay? You better believe it, all right? So I got to call on Jane real quick. I got to retell her story, which is so good. She was talking to a colleague, and she was like, yeah, unity. And so she was trying to explain what unity was. And so her colleague went to her mom and said, oh, yeah, that's the happy old ladies, right? And so the idea that unity is a thing, people kind of know about it, but it's like, when something was called pagan, no discussion followed, okay? No space could be made to understand it. You had to forsake it. And many of us were taught that. Now, I have two thoughts. Now, I told you what the definition of pagan means, but pagan, by definition, is also a heathen. Okay, uh-oh. Did you know a pagan was also an infidel? The same definition. So are we pagans and heathens and infidels? By definition? I hear you, Jane, right? So when a person simply does not belong to a widely held religion, that is the frame. That's the frame. Now, we can recycle that methodology in all things, right? So we're talking about religion here, but we actually do it all the time to each other. We frame each other by a thing, maybe by a t-shirt or a flag on somebody's clothing, you name it, right? We frame it, and then boom, we got it figured out, right? Now, we were taught that pagan was wrong. Now, I remember, really clear when I was a kid, it was scary, right? So I grew up in a really fire and brimstone kind of church, and it was like, you better watch out, don't get near it. And I'm sure it was scary for the adults too, right? Yet, in Kosovo, today, as we stand here, there are certain priests who hold hand-painted Easter eggs as they take part in religious service during this Orthodox Easter, right now as we talk. So if Orthodox is tradition, then tradition is connected to the very thing we were taught to scorn. Y'all got that? Yeah. Now that brings me to my second thought. We ought to give our elders some grace, all right? Now, I say that thinking about my grandma. I remember asking her about prophets, like how do we know if they were real or if they were legitimate? Now, my 16-year-old self was properly and expeditiously shut down, all right? My grandma was doing the best she could with the information that she had. Now, my believing in the church as she saw it was connected to my salvation, right? So my being saved, being among God's chosen people, was directly connected to believing as she believed, right? So if I questioned it, it was something that had to be shut down because it was something beyond this body. We're talking about salvation, right? When our elders taught us to forsake or condemn or even fear pagans, they were doing the best they could with the information that they had. Now, here's the real point of all I'm saying. This is it. I'm about to get there. People are doing the best they can with what they have. People are doing the best they can with what they have. Now, that was a lesson that I learned in counseling. So I was in a deep healing phase when I learned a part of forgiveness is acceptance. To accept that I couldn't change the outcome no matter what I did. To accept that experience as critical for my expansion. To accept that if I were that person, if I had their exact set of experiences, if I had their sole assignment, I would likely make the same decisions they made. What we perceive as being done to us is actually something another is doing for themselves. In other words, as my aunt said, it ain't about you, boo. It ain't about you. So that person made their decision based on their own survival or their perception of safety or security. Our hurt was a byproduct, maybe of little consequence, but our hurt was the price of them choosing themselves. Now let's take that in. We've all done that. We've all made decisions based on what we needed in that moment. And we had to ask for forgiveness at a later point. And maybe we didn't. Maybe we ran from it. But the reality is, decisions like these come out of what many of us may call brokenness. But the truth is, I don't like that word. We are not broken. Okay? We are not broken. We are full. We are complete. We are perfect. I just said we are the very essence of God. How can that be broken? Michael Beckwith says, individuals have a unique way of interpreting their sense of separation. So each of us, the sense of separation is the big bugaboo. Everyone lives, this is Michael Beckwith, everyone lives with a certain degree of a sense of separation. Separation from what? Separation from the divine. Now, what happens when we make decisions based on our sense of separation? We feel awful. We feel awful. And we feel more separated from God. I can tell you, I can feel, if a couple of days go by and I don't meditate, I just feel kind of icky, right? Or if I'm not doing affirmations, or if I get a little short with somebody, I'm aware that, I got to reconnect. But the reality is we are always connected. There is no separation. Now, that's something that we have to commit to. And I thought of an example. Actually, the universe gave me this. Here we go. We can never be separate from source. It's like your heartbeat. Even if we closed our eyes and clasped our hands and rooted ourselves to the ground, we could not stop our heartbeat. Period. Whether you're aware of it or not, your heart is still beating. You have no control over it. Nothing is going to keep your heart from beating. Your awareness or sense of connectedness has nothing to do with whether or not it beats. Does that make sense? So whether or not we're conscious when we're in Publix trying to get our debit card, we are not conscious of our heartbeat, but it's still going. No matter what kind of anxiety or traffic or you name the thing, that lack of awareness is not going to keep our heart from beating. That is our connection, our connectedness to source, no matter what you do. Now, that's the reminder. Now, it's good to be aware. It's good to live in gratitude and be thankful that our heart is beating without conscious effort, I might add. But our heart needs no recognition. It just is. It is law. In the same way, we are connected to the very essence of the divine. Nothing you do or have done can separate you from it. It just is. It is law. Can we imagine that? It is principle. It is principle. When we recognize how powerful we are, we become mindful of everything. Every word that we say. Now, I got stories for days about our kids. So we got a 4-year-old and we got an 8-month baby, just turned 8 months on Friday. So I'll share a quick story that happened yesterday. Resin, our 4-year-old, was giving Sally a hard time. They had just gotten back from the store. He got some brand new swim trunks, some goggles, and a gift for the birthday girl. And he came back with a gift for himself. So listen, he worked it out, all right? I could hear the tantrum in the driveway. I'm inside the house. I could hear it. So I get outside, and I talk to Resin, and as soon as I get finished talking to him, he can't wait to get to Sally to apologize. So he's like, I want to apologize. I said, okay. So he runs up to Sally, and he says, I'm sorry. Before he could continue, I said, no, big boy. We say, I'm going to do better. Okay, now what's that about? Are we teaching Resin not to apologize? Absolutely not. There are times when apologies are appropriate. We are teaching him to be conscious of the words he chooses. Since we are the very essence of God, we cannot be both sorry and of God. God is absolute good. Yes, we may feel remorseful, repentant, apologetic, but we can express that remorse through love and still maintain our God-giving power. So I talked about this the last time I gave a talk. When we use I am, we draw on the infinite organizing power of the universe. When Moses said, who are you? That voice we call God said, I am. He said, okay, yeah, I got to go back to your people. He said, I am that I am. And if we think literally, and we know it's not literal, but if we do think literally, if that's our frame, I am, we all use I am, no matter what language. When we use I am, we are drawing on the infinite organizing power of the universe. We tap into an infinite force that brings our desires into fruition. When we say I am whatever it is, it's a proclamation. It's an invitation for more of the same. Resin is not sorry. He is divine in his 4-year-old self. He is a spark of infinite good, the good we happen to call God. His decisions may not always align with his soul knowing, but like his heart, whether he's connected to it or not, he is the very essence of God. This is my reminder today. In our season of reminders, you are light. You are the life of God in expression. You burst into manifestation from that divine source. You are a continuation of that presence. You are light. So I listen. A couple weeks ago, we were in a meeting here at the church, and I heard the note that we got to serve our people here. And so we have a little activity. We come to this building for many different reasons. One thread binds us, and that's community. Today, we're going to lean in. This will take a few minutes, and that's okay. If you are able, I want you to stand up. All right? Now, Sam and Lucy, I want y'all to participate however you want. Okay. I want you to connect with everyone in this room. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to embrace them in your own way. So some of us do fist bumps, right? Some of us do side hugs. Some of us do however you want to connect with each person. I want you to connect with each person. And here's your assignment. I want you to see the divine presence that is them, not the divine presence within them. We talked a second ago that God is not in the present, but God is the present. In that same way, I invite you to see them as divine presence made manifest. I want you to simply say, you are the light of God in expression. Can y'all say it? You are the light of God in expression. So maybe can we get some music? And it's going to take a couple minutes. We're going to do it, okay? So you're going to connect with every person in this room and simply say, and we're going to walk around. We got it, y'all. We got this. You are the light of God in expression. You are the light of God in expression. You are the light of God in expression. And I want you to connect with everybody in this room. You are the light of God in God expression. You are the light of God in expression. You are the light of God in expression. are the light of God in expression.
You are the light of God in expression.
All right, so if you connected with everybody, have a seat. If not, keep going. Jane, you are the light of God in expression. Namaste. Thank you, Jane. Jane said this is too much intimacy. That's what I want. Yes, that's what I want. So I hope you know what that feels like. And here's the truth. That wasn't a discovery. Does that make sense? That's not like, oh, whoa, I am that. No, it's a reminder. We are being reminded. Reminded. You are the light of God in expression. And so it is.
I just can't resist. You are the light of God in expression. Now is the time of offering. Giving is not a matter of money so much as it is our connection to Source, that faith in the divine, remembering the principle of divine circulation. As we give, so shall we receive, and receive more abundantly. For it is written. Please know that both in our weekly newsletter and on the website, there is a link for secure giving if you are online. And if you are here in the sanctuary, we are going to hold our gift in our hand, or perhaps over our heart, and then place it in that little tiered box by the door. Now, you can also, when you do it that way, it's with cash check. If you want to do it by card, we actually are now, in the 21st century, set up to have a gifting with that little square thingy that goes on the phone. And anyone over there in the back in the AV area knows how to gift that way. So I do need to say that is not a suggestion box. This came out in the last service. They're walking around with their card going, where do I put this? You know, because we moved something. We moved this beautiful bowl to the forefront because, and I'll just explain very briefly why, because I think it's something that indeed people are wondering about. This new box came about after our office manager and representatives on our finance team had an in-person meeting with Reverend Mo, who is a Unity Worldwide specialist in financial best practices. And she had met with us online, and then she agreed to come here physically and offer her time and expertise in an informal audit. For we have not actually had an outside audit for a while. So we asked for her recommendations, and this happens to be a result, actually one of her recommendations. So any of the gifts that you offer are lovingly and conscientiously managed. These gifts keep the doors open, and they support our church salaries, and of course it supports the AV, the lights, the heat, the supplies for the restroom. And so, as ever, we are grateful for that generosity. So please say with me, and this you all know, call and response, divine love, expressing in me, through me, as me, blesses and multiplies, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so now we are going to pray that Miss Gwen is here with the children, and they come forward to share what they have been learning in their lessons today. Then after the blessing, we will make a circle around the sanctuary, and we will, I think, be doing the peace song. Musicians?
Peace song?
Do we know that one?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay. Let them, yeah, okay. Let me give this to Miss Gwen Resin. Please do not trip me. I'm one of those people that is an elder, and you know, some of us aren't as quick and fast and balanced as you. Seriously. When I was your age, I was.
Today our lesson was about self-control and being wise. And we had a story about two twin brothers. And they were like to camp. And they were in the woods and they heard a rustling in the woods. And they turned around and it was a big bear. And one brother ran as fast as he could. But the other brother, he knew he was too close. So he just laid down. And he almost didn't breathe. He was so still. He was so controlled of his own body. And that bear just went over there and, it's not a good lunch. Must be dead. And he went on. The other brother went up a tree. And he took pine cones and threw at that bear. And the bear ran away. And we talked about which brother had to be in the most control, and we decided it was John, the one that played dead, and that we can do the same thing when we need to, because we can make good choices. And I found a little saying. I don't know if you know Louisa May Alcott, one of my favorites, and she said, "A little kingdom I possess where thoughts and feelings dwell, and very hard the task I find of governing it well."
Thank you, Resin. Okay, again, if you're able, let's stand and form a circle around the sanctuary. I gotta bless the children. Thank you, Jane. One sec, here we go. Children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We see the Christ within you. We love you, we love you, we really, really love you. I love this. You have to have a community. Okay, so now we get to come together into a circle, and we will do the peace song with Sammy and Lucy, yes?
Was meant to be. What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am home? It's a question I'm presently wanting to answer. If the usual way doesn't work for me now, it's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live